Welcome back to Jacobson Sports Network. It's a nice Monday morning, and not even an hour or so after that video is done, we get an AZ Central article, a PHNX live stream, and an Arizona Coyotes statement. So you know what? Today we're going to have a little bit more fun, and we're going to cover this. So, the land auction for June 27th was canceled by the Arizona State Land Department, citing the fact that Alex Morello does not have a special use permit in order to build his hockey arena on this land. And we have a little more details. So let's start off with the statement, because the statement is wild. Let's just jump into it. Today, after over a year of planning and meeting every obligation required under Arizona law, the Arizona State Land Department unilaterally canceled the auction that was scheduled to occur on June 27th for the site that has been identified as the future home of the Arizona Coyotes. This unprecedented action by the state of Arizona seriously jeopardizes the future of NHL hockey returning to the desert. As was announced in an April press conference by Coyotes owner Alex Morello and NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman, the site of North Scottsdale Road in the 101 was identified as ideally suited to build a 110-acre mixed-use development anchored by a state-of-the-art arena to serve as the home of the Coyotes. It has been made very clear to the state of Arizona that the Coyotes are fully committed to building out the infrastructure, going through the necessary approvals, and developing the site into a world-class destination. Yet, the ASLD has canceled the auction despite the objections of the Coyotes less than a week before the scheduled auction date. The organization has worked in good faith with the ASLD and has been on track to win the auction next week until the sudden reversal by ASLD today. By canceling the land auction, the state is foregoing millions and potentially billions of dollars that would have gone directly to K-12 education. By investing in the infrastructure of the site, the Coyotes would have unlocked over 2,000 acres of state land for development that would have returned over $2 billion to Arizona schools, created thousands of construction and permanent jobs, and created a new significant tax base to support the future growth of our state. The Arizona Coyotes are exploring all our legal options given this short-sighted decision by the state. This comes off like a temper tantrum. This comes off like a petulant child just got their ball taken away and now they're gonna throw a fit over it, because you guys already know my opinions. I'll get back into speculation after we discuss a little more of what's going on here. You already know my opinion on the situation. This is not how you release a PR statement. Craig Morgan on PHNX Hockey stated that, I think he said about 5 or 6, it was a good handful of PR people reached out to him and were like, yeah, they had no tact. That was a terrible statement. I'll give you a little tidbit that I learned. Before they finalized it, they removed a line, essentially just restating their commitment to this market, restating their commitment to buying the land and building an arena. They had that in there, I was told, and it is no longer in there. Now, the only solution, look, and I agree with Craig Morgan wholeheartedly on this. All this stuff that you're saying right here, you want to say it behind closed doors, you want to get, look, I get mad, I get upset. There are things that I say that sometimes I just need to yell. Sometimes I just need to go on an incoherent rant. You know what? It happens. When you're making a PR statement that is going to the public, we are disappointed by the decision by the Arizona State Land Department today. We will be going through the process of obtaining this special use permit. We remain committed to buying this land and bringing NHL hockey back to Arizona. That's it. That's all the statement should have been. It should have been like 4 lines. And then you threaten legal action. I've heard that before. The Arizona Coyotes have a history under Alex Morello's ownership of just threatening legal action over relatively simple matters, over really stupid things, over just filing paperwork. I'm going to quote an AZ Central article here. I'll leave it linked below in the description. Full disclosure, I don't think I can pronounce this name, so I do apologize. Quote, Phoenix spokesperson said the land development asked for an interpretation of the zoning on the site, and the city had determined a sports arena was not allowed under existing zoning. An arena would require, quote, approval of a special permit through the rezoning process. A rezoning process is a process that changes the uses that are allowed on a site and requires a series of public hearings and can take several months. The spokesperson continued saying that the Coyotes have not filed for this special use permit yet. You know what's funny? A Phoenix council member let us in on a little secret about Coyotes' process here and how they didn't get a zoning attorney. Here's the quote. Phoenix Councilman Jim Waring, whose district this proposed arena would be in, said Friday that the Coyotes should, quote, get a zoning attorney. They don't have one. Get in the city, come up with a plan through the process, then buy it. I'm going to interpret this just a little bit. Alex, billionaire, you're trying to embark on like a 2 billion, 2.1, whatever it is. I know the numbers have changed quite a bit. You're trying to embark on a multi-billion-dollar enterprise, and you didn't bother to book one consult with a zoning attorney? That's pathetic. That is pathetic. Now, well, let's go into speculation. Let's go into my opinion on this. Let's go into how I interpret this situation. Arizona State Land Department said this isn't uncommon to cancel an auction when the primary bidder can't bid on the land. And considering how Alex Morello, last Craig Morgan reported, was the only registered bidder, and other bidders don't need to register until day of, but he was the primary bidder, I maintain my opinion. I don't think anybody wants to work with him. We already know that statement that came out of Kate Gallego's office. All right, that was a very productive meeting that she publicly still said doesn't support because of the tax breaks. I also like how in the statement, they bring up generating tax revenue when they want to go for a theme park district, which I'm not a political guy. I'm not going to pretend I understand every single in and out of this, but essentially exempts them from certain taxes. I believe it's property tax, and allows like a certain little loophole, a little situation. Now, it's a little more complex than that. Remember, that is not my area of expertise. I just report on my dead hockey team, but I don't think anybody wants to work with him. And the fact that the Morellos, instead of simply filing for this new permit, it's going to take months. And you know who doesn't have months? Alex Morello. He doesn't have months. But guess what? No matter what choice he chooses, whether he goes down the path, the right path, which is what he should have done. Alex, I know you're not going to watch this. Maybe Junior will. You should have just filed for the permit. This statement, 4 sentences. We're disappointed by this. We remain committed. We're going to go through the process. That's it. You want to look at your legal options? Do it behind the scenes. You have frustrations you want to vent them behind the scenes. Go through the proper process. But then again, the Morellos had an opportunity. When this team was sold, they had the opportunity to make this right and build relationships, and the only thing they've done, to be blunt, is piss off the mayor by having Coyotes fans blast her on social media like, oh yeah, let her know that you want us to be here. That was stupid, and we all know who posted that. And then threatening legal action against the state land department, who you are trying to buy land from. What is the grounds? What is the grounds of the lawsuit? Lost opportunity? And then, like, the fact that there was no recommitment to buying the land. There was no recommitment to building an arena. I know Alex is on a time crunch. And whether he goes down the legal process, which lawsuits take quite a long time, so my preference definitely is a lawsuit, or he just shuts up and goes through the process to get the special use permit and just jumps through the hoops that the city of Phoenix wants him to jump through, because at this point, that is your only option. If you want to make the billions of dollars you're going to make off this entertainment district, that's a hoop. Go jump through it. But the actions of everyone and everything I've seen and everything that's come out since, the actions, not the words, the actions have shown me Alex Morello is not a serious person. The actions have shown me the Morellos are not actually going to bring hockey back here. This is a perfect exit opportunity. Right now, you can perfectly play victim and say, hey, no one's gonna help us. We cannot do this without help. I'm sorry, we tried. Alex, you have the perfect opportunity to save a lot of money and simply walk away. Walk away! There are other ownership groups that can give us hockey back, and honestly, the fact that so many Coyotes fans, not to get political, but to use like a simile for modern day politics, there are literally people that hate ex-politicians so much that they are anti that politician. They will not vote for that party if that politician's attached. Alex Morello has poisoned the well and made everyone in this town hate him. Literally is one of the most hated people in Phoenix right now. Alex, walk away. Walk away and let someone else do this. Because no matter how much money you throw at this, you're not going to get it done. It's not going to happen. You're either going to go through a lawsuit, and it's a lot of legal process there, or you're simply going to go through the process to get the special use permits and potentially be denied because the city of Phoenix does not want you. They want the Coyotes. They do not want you. And their actions have shown that, because multiple former mayors have said they want the Coyotes back in Phoenix, and the fact that they do want the Coyotes to build that building in Phoenix, but they don't want you involved because all of a sudden all these roadblocks are only showing up for you. Walk away. I don't see how else he fixes it. Because, again, instead of simply saying, we're disappointed, we remain committed, we're going to go through this process, instead of saying that, they complained, they threatened, it was a lot of false bravado, and we're right back into burning more bridges. I don't know how many more bridges there are to burn, Alex. It's almost impressive that you are still burning bridges. Let me leave you on this. Full disclosure, Rich Nairn wouldn't remember who I am, but for my 10th birthday, it was the season finale of the 2007 season against the Vancouver Canucks. So I think I was 11. Yeah, 11th birthday. He was the reason that after the game, I got to go meet the players and meet Shane Doan. So disclosure, I'm probably always going to have a bias towards Rich Nairn, but Rich Nairn, the former PR person for the Coyotes, very well-respected man. He also did it for the Jets, I believe, beforehand. He was in the industry for a long time. Before the season started, announced he was leaving the organization. I was told he was forced out, but that is also unverified. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. Rich Nairn, so someone who knows this ownership group, who worked for them, very intimately close with everything, tweeted the following. Hopefully, he will finally bow out so that the NHL can begin discussions with other real potential owners. Hopefully, Rich. But honestly, given the ego that we have seen, we have actually observed over the course of the last 3 months, we may simply have to just wait this one out for 3.5 years.